So, Lucy, we're using Jane Iredale on you, and out of all the brands of makeup at Evolue, this is what I'm most familiar with. I've used Iredale for many years, one of my favorite brands to use. I've done half of your complexion with using the Smooth Affair Brightening Serum, and also the BB cream, and I finished with some of a mineral powder and also the matte, purifying matte powder. And as you can see, there's this amazing glow on your skin. It looks perfectly flawless, as though it looks like your skin. So we'll start the application. You just need a small amount of the Smooth Affair primer, so like a little tiny dot, and apply that with the blending brush all over your face. Soft downward strokes. Think about the way you apply your skincare is the way you want to apply the primer onto your skin. Not only will this allow your makeup to stay on longer and look more smooth even, but it just gives this beautiful soft glow on the skin itself. And it's just radiant and beautiful.
And really smooth.
Really smooth. It just sort of fills in any fine lines, but also allows the makeup to stay on a little bit longer and more effectively.
And I love that you can use this. My mom uses this product, and it really helps her skin even out and smooth out, and it just, the BB cream comes on so smooth after.
You use less of everything with a good primer. So it's quite economical, although it's another step to add to the makeup. It actually makes all the rest of your makeup stay on longer. This is Jane's BB cream, which gives phenomenal coverage for a BB cream. I'm just gliding this all over the skin with the brush, same brush we applied the primer with. I want to concentrate the application. I'll do softer, shorter strokes, but the pressure is the same as this stroke. Do you feel the difference? Or actually feel the similarity? The same pressure, just more concentrated strokes will give you more coverage, and a longer, softer stroke will give you more sheer coverage.
What a difference a brush can make.
What a difference. And you did remark earlier that I'm doing a lot less pressure than you're used to using. I think that's quite relevant in what you see as the finished result. In the makeup itself, it looks beautiful and flawless, and we've used almost none at all, really.
A lot less product.
A lot
because
less
I
product.
have a tendency to just put a dollop and then just put it all over.
Right.
So now I understand I have to be a little more sparing.
A little more sparing.
Use the brush.
So, next step is the Active Light Pen. This acts as a concealer and a brightener. You dab that onto the inner corner of the eye, lower points of the lid.
Also, I love that the BB cream has SPF 25.
Oh, your skin's very protected with these products.
I don't have to apply anything else, and you know, it's all in one product. It's great.
Right. Using the little concealer brush to sort of get that into the hard to reach areas. Being very cautious not to drag the skin. Very little effort, very soft, and you get a perfect application that way. I think this by itself, this even complexion, is a great way to look every day and very effortlessly. Okay?
I love it.
Great. So Sally, we're going to finish the skin with the Pure Pressed Mineral Powder and Jane's handy brush. It's quite a dense, flat brush, which is ideal for picking up the pressed powder. I'm going to glide this over the whole complexion to finish off the application. And again, this will add further sun protection. It gives you just a bit more of a luminous, even finish to the whole thing. And that's absolutely perfect. Wonderful. And to set this all in and make it stay secure for the day, Jane's Palmist Spray has pomegranate, which is very soothing for the skin. Close your eyes, please. One soft spray, or a couple actually. Very refreshing. Breathe that in. It feels cool and lovely.
And it smells really delicious.
That smells fantastic, but your makeup is now set in for the whole day. Carry this in your bag and reapply throughout the day. We are going to start with taking the basic steps of doing a smoky eye. And you mentioned before you had some challenges before with achieving that yourself, so what was that?
I generally go too dark, and so I really like the definition that you created. How did you do that?
Very easy. The first thing to do is start with a neutral base shadow. This is Allure from Jane Iredale, and I really love the texture of Jane's mineral shadows. They really adhere to the skin, they blend beautifully, they're almost crease-proof, if you will. They stay on the skin beautifully for a very long time. And I'm just taking this first shade all over the lid from the inner corner, along the lash line, and over the whole lid for the most part. Look upwards. We're going to form a soft V in the inner corner here, and then we'll go on to the next step. Now, the next step is defining the eye, and I'm going to use Jane's Mystical pencil. This is a two-sided pencil, black side for the definition, a little bit of a white shimmer pattern for brightness and highlighting. I'm going to take my pencil and sort of line your outer lash line about halfway in, maybe slightly more than halfway, and kind of give a little bit of a extension there. So it's a soft wedge shape. Have a look at that in the mirror if you will.
Oh, I see. So just halfway through the
Halfway
eye and
through.
then little finger.
Precisely. We're going to bend the line, blend the line with a brush. So the line, the whole lash line will definitely have that whole definition, but it's softer as we go into the inner corner of the eye. So you can see this blend beautifully. I'm going to smudge off this heavier area here and feather the brush and take away that heavier line, and so it becomes a soft definition versus just a dark line. I'm going to blend this right up to the crease of your lash line or your eyelid. That's it so far, all right? That's step number 2. So the third step is to take a darker shade of eyeshadow. In this case, we're going to use Dawn from Jane Iredale. Close your eyes, please. I'm blending this color along the outer corner where I've applied the liner. So it softens out the liner, gives you a further definition, and from there I'll blend up to the crease. Now with your eye being slightly deeper, I don't want to go too much into the crease, but that'll make you look more deep. I want to sort of go just on the crease, on the brow bone itself. And this will soften that bone out for you, and thus as well give you more of an elongated and lifted eye versus giving you a deeper set eye. Does that make sense?
I like the sound of that.
So see the difference? It's softer, it elongates and everything.
All right, so, okay.
It's all connecting on the other corner.
And it kind of opens the eye
Precisely.
instead of... Yeah, I think I was doing the deep set eye.
Probably. And you can actually stop here, and it's perfectly fine just like that.
Just a little
Apply
mascara.
You can see the difference between the full smoky eye with the definition below and then without, so you can compare and learn to bounce wherever you feel more comfortable. Look upwards. You can softly take now the same Mystical pencil, and this way I'm going to go on the lower lash about 1/3 of the way in now. And then blend that with my brush going inward. So again, we want to define the entire lash line, but we want the depth to be coming from the outer corner and softly blending inward. Beautiful, I love this. So it's very smoky and sexy. You also notice when you review the video, I'm keeping my brushes very, very vertical. If I'm going towards the skin, it's just going to make it very heavy and smudgy. This way I can control where I blend the product and get a much softer, more sort of faded out blend, if you will.
You sound like an artist.
Thank you. And then back to the darker shade of shadow, and this will make it further smoky. You're going to go right over that line and softly blend the whole lower lash line, so you get that beautiful, soft, silky, smoky eye. The last step I will do is to take the white highlighting shade of the Mystical pencil and go right on the inner corners. This gives a beautiful, soft, pearly shimmer, which is the perfect way to finish off this look. Now let's mascara. What a beautiful smoky eye.
My favorite mascara.
Every girl's favorite mascara, right?
Yes.
I think it's the one thing women would never go without is mascara.
Yes, and concealer.
And concealer. Again, I'm bending my brush. I think we went over this earlier, but once again, I think it gives you a much better leverage. Look towards my knee to give a nice big lift to my whole lash line here. Let's lift the lashes from below, zigzag back and forth. A beautiful, full, lifted lash line. Look there on the floor, please. Fantastic. You actually use much less mascara this way. You get no clumps. So you're going to get a nice, fuller lash line. Actually, you won't get that sort of clumping on your skin. Fantastic.
Yes, I love me some. And this is Jane Iredale, the thickening lash?
Lash mascara. I love that product.
Me too.
On to blush. I love Jane's fan brush for applying blush. To me, this is the best tool to have for anyone's blush. So I'll just slightly tap that right onto the cheek. Beautiful. Gives you a warm, soft glow. Love this color.
Me too.
fantastic with just smoky eyes, a little bit of soft glow on the cheeks. Beautiful. And we'll move on to the lips.
That's pretty. And it's still pretty natural too. It doesn't feel heavy.
It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't have that sort of too much shimmer or too much of the powdery look. It just looks nice, and again, it adheres beautifully to Jane's foundation.
And if you want it to be a little heavier and deeper, you can wear
Reapply or add some bronzer to it.
Bronzer,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I do often mix a bronzer with blush just for that more of a sculpted look. So I always do the blush first, add some bronzer, which I'll show you at the end. We're going to line your lips with Jane's lip liner in Spice. This is the perfect neutral shade that everybody could wear. What I'm doing that's different is I'm lining from your outer corners. Now the trick about that is it'll allow me to give you a softer line. I think especially when we do it ourselves, it's very difficult to go from the center outward because you get two different angles. From the corners inward, you get a nice soft lift to the mouth, but by shading in the corners, your lip color will stay on longer because this is now acting as a base for that lip color.
So many good tricks.
So many good
Thank
tricks.
you.
You're very welcome. I love Jane's glosses. To me, they're one of the best you can wear because they're extremely hydrating and they don't have that very sticky feeling. Nice and sheer and moisturizing. It's going right over my lip liner with that gloss and blending it in. Again from the corners for that soft, even lift to the mouth and the perfect application. And there you are, ready for the evening. What do you think?
That's really natural.
Very natural.
But sexy.
Very sexy.
I like it.
Thank you.